Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out 3 new custom tracks in MX vs ATV Reflex, and all 3 of these tracks are done by the same person, Red Rider 197. Again, I say this like all the time, but if you guys are familiar with Reflex, you probably know who Red Rider is. He has done some super awesome custom tracks over the years, some really awesome nationals, and he's collaborated with C4 Detonator and Dark Slides 19, and they've done some really awesome stuff. He said thank you to Dark Slides, and I believe it was Racer Rat. I might be getting that wrong, but he helped to test the tracks and give feedback and input and all that good stuff, and that is a huge help in making custom tracks. So this first one is what was this first one? Minneapolis? I believe this first one is Minneapolis. I might have that wrong. I should have text over at the beginning of each track so you know which one it is. But these are all going to be 2019 replicas. He did all 3 of them and then uploaded them to Dark Slide's website or Reflex Central if you want to try them out. It is only on PC. I've had people still asking me that. How do you get these on console? And I cannot help you. This is only on PC, so sorry if you just have it on console, which is really unfortunate because this keeps this game. The custom tracks is what keeps Reflex going, and Red Rider's doing a great job on these. So yes, he did say that these were the only 3 2019 replicas that he's going to be doing, and to be looking out for his new project, which is going to be Spring Creek. I believe. I'm not sure. I think it was that. I might have to check. But yes, Minneapolis here. This track, all these tracks kind of had a similar feel, and that makes sense because they're all made by the same person. But it's really deceiving, and I think I might have said the same thing about Daytona, because Red Rider did that track as well. Daytona had... It's almost like the track feels really simple, or it looks really simple at first, but then you start riding it and you're like, okay, this isn't as simple as I thought it was. You have to have some throttle control. Sometimes you have to carry a ton of speed out of the corners to be able to hit what you need to get, to hit the rhythm sections. It's just a very interesting, he just built the tracks really well. And I'm assuming that came a lot from the help of Racer Rat to test them and give feedback and all that stuff. So they're not really as easy as they seem, but Minneapolis here is really awesome. So next track we are jumping into is, I believe, Seattle. Alright guys, so here we have the second track. This is 2019 Seattle, and it happens. It happens sometimes. People say that, hey, you repeat yourself too much. It might happen a bit here because all 3 of these tracks are made by the same person, and he makes really great tracks, and they all kind of have that similar feel. I mean, they kind of feel like Daytona, which we took a look at earlier this year, or a month ago, 2 months ago. I don't remember how long it was, but they all have a similar feel because they're made by the same guy, and the tracks are all really good. And this one is as similar as it was with Minneapolis. It just has he gives you different options, and the throttle control and the way you have to really rail a corner sometimes, and even right here where you had to kind of slow up to step on and then step off, you could send it over, triple over, and then have a single into the corner, but I don't feel like it's faster. And then it really feels like here he balanced it really well in front of the finish line, because it's like there's a certain amount of drag there, where if you take the outside, and maybe it's different on the inside because I never took the inside, but I feel like if you took the inside, maybe there'd be less drag so you could get over the finish line, but taking the outside, you had a ton of room. It was a really wide corner, so I feel like he added more drag there so that you had to hit the corner decent, and you're not going to overjump it. You're going to land just about right. So I mean, I guess it's little things like that make these tracks so much fun to play. And you can see here, if you went to the right, there would have been a different a line there. Now, I'm not that good. Some people are like, oh, you're pretty good at Reflex. Guys, I'm really not. I'm telling you, thank you. Thank you for the compliment, but I really am not that good. So some of the lines, aside from the ones that I'm taking here, it would have been really, really hard for me to get consistently, because it's tough. I mean, I was going for probably what I would consider the easier line around all three of these tracks. I mean, the first track didn't have too many line choices, and then here I added in this third lap because the one before it, the fourth lap, was really, really bad, and I was embarrassed of myself, so I decided to just kind of slip a better lap in here. But yeah, this track, I would say, I don't know if this was the hardest track. I would say it was this track or the last one, which is Houston, I believe. Those two tracks were probably the hardest, but the best tracks out of the three. I'm not saying the first one wasn't good, but this one and the next one were just more fun, had more interesting lines you could take. So yes, this is Seattle, and next we will be checking out Houston. Here we have the 2019 Houston, and this track was awesome. After kind of going back and watching it, this was probably my favorite track out of the three. Just really well done. And the reason I started it here is because I get this. We get the triple onto the table, step on, step off, and then single. That was a super awesome line to hit. It was really hard. I got it a couple times, but I was never able to put together what's the word? Decent lap. So I decided to just do it off the start, because that's really the only time that I was able to do it. So there's that line is different. Here after the wall in the sand section, I always stayed to the right side and did the double in, because I'm not really sure what you would get. Maybe you'd get like a wheel tap double and then triple or triple double, maybe. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it's kind of the same as what it was like with Seattle. There was a couple different ways you could do it, aside from doing this triple here, which on the last lap you'll see I tried to do it, but it was really poor attempt at trying to get it. And this is a line that was the easiest and for me the most comfortable. Maybe you could triple in here. I just don't feel like the pitch of that first jump would allow it, and I never really tried it, but there's probably some really good players out there that can definitely do it. And the inside, I mean, you can kind of see it here, and we do it on the last lap too. It just doesn't feel like that would be faster. I feel like actually in that situation, the outside going for the triple is probably the better way. Let's see, we go double here, and maybe, I don't know, maybe that wall is really steep. Maybe you could send it off of that and kind of land into these rollers. I think they kind of did that in real life. I mean, they weren't sending it really hard, but it's been a minute since we saw the 2019 Supercross season, and this jump was really easy to over jump, and then you couldn't set up as good if you were trying to go for the triple in. But if you're just going for the double, it really wasn't that big a deal. And then you could double onto the top of that table and then step off and then have the single, but I feel like actually quadding over that table and then doubling into the corner was probably faster. You can also jump and triple over this and single. It just doesn't feel like it would have been faster. And then that's pretty much it. So we have one more lap, which is a really ugly lap, but I'm not sure. Maybe there was something different I did. I don't think so. I pretty much stayed to the same line I'd been doing the whole time. So if you wanted to see a line choice, sorry. I'm not very good at it. I tried a couple times and I just couldn't do it. And there's no reason for you to see massive failure over and over again. So that's why I kind of stayed to the same. But Red Rider, awesome job, man. 3 new custom tracks. That's insane. That is so insane. It's so much fun. And these tracks are tough. They take some time to learn. The Seattle track had an insane section of loops I never talked about. Overall, a lot of fun. This will bring you back to Reflex for quite some time, and there is where we couldn't. Pretty failed attempt at trying to get that. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. And until the next video, take it easy.